Why if it swept at liquidity means it's going. The reason why I think it's going to equal lows right now is because we're reacting off this inverse. Like we hit this inverse, rejected it, and usually when that happens, we deliver to the next liquidity, and the next liquidity would be equal lows because that's where liquidity pools rest. So it just seems like, okay, because of this rejection here, we should go here. What's up, Leopard? I don't have my headphones in right now. Does everyone understand? Type 1 if you understand what I'm saying. All right, good. There's that at 8:15. Oh, then yeah, probably. Yeah, so these are data lows apparently. So yeah, I do see a little more downside here. Red folder at 10 a.m. Okay. Data lows are basically lows formed off of data like CPI, FOMC, PMI, JOLTS, whatever it may be. And when we get these like and this is like an abnormal wick for this kind of candle. Okay, it's a big body and kind of like a decent sized wick for a big body like this. Usually we don't get wicky candles off of big body candles. And what happens is like when we wick down here really fast, not a lot of orders get filled. And sometimes they leave voids, so we just go back down and hit them. Usually red folder news. Wix created off of what red folder news? Dude, sale, shut up. I'm gonna make a thread on how I use data lows. Probably. No, I wouldn't not. I'm not looking for long here. With equal lows below and data lows below, I'm not really interested in long here. Oh, after it hits equal lows, maybe, yes. Yeah, probably, to be honest. Yes, take data lows twice. Okay. I mean, typically both ends up taking them, but we'll see. Yeah. Open's probably not going to be great either, especially with the data, but we'll see. I'll be looking for a 30-second setup here or something.
Good morning, everyone. People from Twitter Spaces already know this, but announcement on the trades like the J's and a lot of stuff.
What the hell? All right, come on. Just hit these equal lows, please. No, I'm curious. What I'm curious to see is at 220 what happens. I wonder if we dump. And boom, there you go. There's equal lows. Okay, so you should all be out there. If you wanna, if you did take like 5 contracts and you want to hold a single runner to the data lows, you can. But typically, I would be all out there. For me, I know some people wouldn't. Hey, let's go, Jazz. Up that equal low short. Nice. Open will be pretty tough. I'm assuming opens can go right to the objective. If we do go to these data lows, I'm assuming opens literally just gonna just go right there. Just gonna be a gigantic candle. Okay, but if we do not go to these, we're probably gonna chop around. We're probably either gonna chop or we're gonna go straight down to these equal lows. We're probably not gonna accelerate up yet. I think if we go hit these data lows, then we'll accelerate up and go to this black line. And that's when I look for the long. But we should chop or just go straight down here at open to these data lows. All right, 1 minute, boys. 30-second inverse doesn't really matter here, in my opinion. Volatility is just gonna knock you out anyways. All right, 12 seconds. Again, I think we just get a big candle going down here. If I'm wrong, I'll quit. You can you can throw me off. I don't even know. You can drown me. Hmm. Okay, we create equal lows here. We did create equal highs up here, so kind of 50-50 if you're micro scalping this. Okay, there they are. Okay, so here's the 2-minute fair value gap. Let's see how we react to this. Again, if we close above this, I'm going to try a long here if we don't hit this high first. But if not, I'm not touching anything. Like if we hit this high first, I'm not going to long. Damn, looks like we will. If we close like right here, I'm not longing because the risk reward's horrible. We got to close like, yeah, nope. Damn. All right, so we hit the high, so I can't long. Again, I would have longed if we close above this, like right here. But you can see now the candle hasn't even closed yet, and we're way above this high. So now this would be a gamble. So, like I said, we're probably gonna go to this buy side liquidity now. We did leave some equal lows down here, which is pretty interesting. So I'm not really tempted to get anything yet. I feel like this is still pretty 50-50. I could see one or two things happening. I could see us maybe hitting this buy side, then going down again. So if we hit buy side, I can maybe see us rejecting this like fair value gap right here, somewhere in this vicinity. And then we could get a nice like 30-second short setup. Or if we hit these equal lows / data lows first, we could go back up the buy side. There's a fair value gap here, not one I trust because we hit an internal liquidity already. However, it does tell us that the order flow is bullish for the time being. Again, not really anything to play here. Okay. Log into my account. We just have this drawn. If we inverse this, I'll short. So if we inverse this fair value gap, I'll take a short to the data lows. But if not, then I'm not going to do anything. Okay, that should be a good play if we inverse this. All right, let's see. Oh, is this a 5-minute swing high? Yeah, it is. So this would be I mean, we don't really know where the draw is right now. So, I mean, you could say you're playing the cam model, but I don't think there's an obvious draw right now. I think there's just 50-50. Unless we really violate this, I'll short to these equal lows or these data lows. But other than that, I'm not taking anything. Apparently, there's data at 8:15. That's what Leopard said. ADP employment, yes. So again, we're just at a spot where I'm not really, you don't diddle in the middle. Okay, we're in the middle right now. I'm gonna wait for like an edge to hit, and then I'll look for a reversal, and that's what I'll play. All right, come on, please hit this buy side. I don't really want us to reject here because I feel like it'll still be 50-50 versus if we hit this buy side and reject this fair value gap, there'll be a much better setup. So I'm really wanting this buy side to hit here. I mean, if we did get a short setup just off this high, it'd still be not bad, but it wouldn't be as high probability as if we got it from this fair value gap, because that way we could say we hit buy side on the higher time frame and are delivering from a bearish fair value gap, which makes the setup so much better. Yes, ES is lagging a lot. Yeah, good call out. We'll see if we get an SMT here, maybe. Yes, so there is a bearish SMT right now, but does this bearish SMT mean anything yet? Right? When ES makes a lower high and NQ is at the higher high, does this really mean anything yet? Not really, because there's not really a setup yet off of it. We need to see like a setup off of this. Okay, you can't just guess. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm shorting because there's an SMT." When ES could very well go hit this buy side right now. Okay, right? If you really pay attention to market structure and order flow is still bullish here. So there's nothing stopping this from this SMT not working. Okay, and there's no setup to the downside here. So this SMT, even though it's apparent, it's like there's nothing that say, okay, short here, you know. So here's buy side on NQ. I do want a little higher. And never mind. We don't really need higher here because we did hit this fair value gap. So as long as we hit this fair value gap, we're good. So here's where I look for like a 30-second model or the cam model here. So I'll have that 30-second chart pulled up. It'll be better if we get the SMT. Again, we might not get the SMT though, right? There's no short setup yet. For the SMT to play out, I probably want this bullish fair value gap created and then violated, which you can see it's now being closed. So that was just closed. So not really anything new there. Again, it doesn't really matter where we deliver from as long as it is a fair value gap, and both of these are fair value gaps, so it does not matter. The only way it will end up longing later is if we violate this 4-hour fair value gap. But we still got a lot of time till that close. So you can see this SMT probably will be broken, as at least that's what it looks like right now. We never really got a short off of it. Okay, so no one should have been shorting. We just kind of had it, but again, doesn't mean anything. Yep, so there's the buy side from ES, right? I could tell that ES is probably going to go for it because this order block was formed right here. So that's why I just said that. This order block usually means the next candle is going to be up, which this is a green candle. And because we were so close to buy side, if we were to get an up candle there, I figured we'd hit buy side there. All right. So let's see if like we create a bullish rally gap, and let's just wait for us to violate it. So anywhere in this area we could get that. Yeah, Dow looks trash. The 1 minute looks garbage here. Hey, let's go, Jazz. Enjoy your day. That's a 10-minute workday right there. All right. Looks like this will be a short. Probably just gonna go 2 contracts here. Because we have news at 10. So we'll see if we can get 10 points. Is this a 30-second model, Leopard? Stop loss is going to be if we close above this fair value gap. We already, bro, whenever I asked if this is a cam model, everyone already says we already ran 10 points, but we didn't really get a retracement into a 30-second fair value gap. That's what I don't understand. Like, how can it, if we don't get a retracement into a fair value gap, how can it run 10 points? If we didn't have news, I'd probably go heavier in this, but because of the news, I'm not really trusting anything right now, so I'm not going too heavy. Yeah, take profit 10 points. I honestly should probably put one lower. Maybe this 5-minute fair value gap. I'll do another one here probably. So one take profit will be 10 points. The other will be almost 20, which is this 5-minute fair value gap low. This is the low before the 5-minute fair value gap right here. Okay, so there's one target hit, and now this is the final target, this 5-minute fair value gap. Stop should go to break even now here. So stop to break even here. Okay. Okay, and if I get stop to break even, I don't really care. We have news, so wouldn't be surprising. We're probably gonna chop around here. Although it would be nice if I could get here. Almost stop this out. Let's see. All right, so stop the rest at break even. Pretty good play. So 1 for 1 for the day. That'll probably be my only play before news. Don't want to really risk anything before news. Type 1 if you took that. Again, I probably should have just taken both contracts at 10 points just because that's my goal of this account, but it's fine. I still think we're probably going to go retracing this 5-minute fair value gap, if I had to guess. Let me just keep this labeled. Maybe news wicks into it. Yeah, something I learned the hard way. For sure. Again, we should dump here. I could easily chase another contract here. You gotta think about it. The play is really this. The play is this, like something like this. Okay. It's this BPR short into this 5-minute fair value gap. So sometimes you're gonna get sought to break even, sometimes you're not, but in the end, this is probably almost always going to play out. And that's just how I trade, and that's okay. But I'll keep this drawn just so I guys can watch it, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna go with this 5-minute gap. It's not a breakaway gap or anything. And if I draw like a fib, discount the premium, okay, you can see discount is right at this 0.5. So the market will probably want to retrace into that discounted area. I would not worry about a breakaway gap for now. It's basically just a fair value gap that's not supposed to be filled. Yeah, it's pretty much Boyo. Looks like we're engineering a lot of micro low resistance liquidity here. Again, doesn't mean we're gonna dump. I mean, I prefer us not to dump here because I'll just end a short, and if we dump, it's gonna be demotivating. But I'm pretty sure we will. Again, the amount of times I've seen like a 5-minute fair value gap created open, and then like a 1-minute BPR to the downside, the amount of times I've seen that, and just no matter what the bias is, no matter if we balance out of this or not, typically what we're tracing in the 5-minute fair value gap, then get like another setup, whether it be short or long setup. Um, it sucks if this is gonna happen, which it probably will, but um, again, I usually get stopped to break even on runners if we have like news, because what the news does is will wick both ways, and people who try to gamble the news, they'll try to set positions in both ways, and what the market does, it'll try to stop them out before the news comes out, so no one wins. So typically before news, I do end up getting stopped out a runner. All right, this is good. I'm glad this is happening. So this is awesome. See, now I don't feel bad for getting stopped out the runner, because I would have gotten stopped out anyways. See that? So glad that happened. We're still probably gonna come down to this 5-minute fair value gap, but imagine if I was still in a position here, I would have gotten stopped out anyway, so I wouldn't have been in the play anymore. So pretty nice. You got news in 10 minutes, so now literally we just wait for the news. This is a long setup, by the way, but I'm gonna wait for the news. EU did just hit the area of interest, so EU, all I'd be looking for is some sort of inversion long out this. If you do trade EU. probably in the 5 minute. So this one right here would be a good long, probably. Let me just post this. All right, news in 10 minutes. I know this looks like a good long setup. Would definitely probably stay out of it. Okay. Again, I think we're still going to go to this BPR or this 5 minute fair value gap at some point. You got micro low resistance liquidity here. As much as I want to short, I guarantee I could short right now in bank. But again, I'm just gonna wait for the news. Say this candle doesn't close at this low and we got an entry in here, that would be good short. Okay, no, it's not obviously. But yeah, there's the 5 minute fair value gap. So as I was saying before, it's like whenever I see these 5 minute fair value gaps when they're open, typically they're retraced into. So there that is. So this would actually be a good long setup now if we inverse this, but the problem is we have news, so again, can't really do anything. No, I want to trade London tomorrow. Now, if we inverse this 5 minute fair value gap, I think we'll go to this low. So again, we'll just have to see what the news does here. Again, I'm 1 for 1. If I don't have to force another trade, I won't. I'll trade after the NFP news comes out. But I won't trade before it. Again, you can just see that this is like a textbook long setup, right? I called out. And why does it fail? Okay, news, right? Simple as that, right? There's news of 10. This is never going to be high probability. Okay, you can see my executions. Did you ever see me execute this? Nope. Even though I called it out as a long setup, right? It's not something I'm ever going to execute because that's just being an idiot. If you try to execute something like that. See, if this gets inverse, this is almost 99% going to work for a long setup, but I'll probably just demo it because of news. Pretty good stream so far, though, I'd say. Yeah, this high is going to be hit for sure. Just this formation right here is such a bullish formation. Now all I need to see is a close above this, and we should just go to this high. All right, no close over yet. 3 seconds till the candle close. So no close over. Interesting. You only need to see a close over for this to be hit. Right, I wouldn't even trust this for like that for long because technically we're delivering from this that we did not close over. So this is one of those like 50-50 setups. I mean, maybe it's a little more like 70-30 because we are delivering from a 5-minute bullish or rally gap. So I would actually say this is a little more bullish, but to be like 100% zero, we need to see a close over this. Close to the tick. All right, back, Cloudy. Four minutes of the news. Again, no trades taken before the news comes out. Evan, you're leaving already? Do you want to wait for the potential setup if we get into you? Wait for this to be inverse. It should be good long. Again, you can see this is getting like not blown through, but just not really a quick bounce, right? Why? Because of news, right? So even though it looks bullish, it's not something I'm going to execute on if we have news in 3 minutes, right? Just makes no sense. The only way I would have longed there is on demo if we close above this, but we never did, so. We'll see what this news does. All right, one more minute to a moment of truth. Yes, this stream is very mid. All right, one more minute. Again, not gambling in this situation. Just wait to see what happens. All right, 5 seconds. No idea what's gonna happen here. All right, well, there's the news. So if we close above this, I'll try a long to this high. Let's see. I like how the bodies are kind of holding this because that tells me if we do close above this would be not bad play. But if not, no play. Looks like no play for now. All right, so no play there. Just gonna keep this draw and see what happens. Maybe we get an inverse like right here. Again, this isn't not so this buy side liquidity is not going to be the draw unless we get a setup going towards it. We don't have that right now. So even though I have this marked, doesn't mean it's a draw yet. Okay, we need to see a setup going towards it. Yeah, I see the eagle O's. I mean, you can't see them in a 5 minute, so we'll see. Good call out. I saw them like 10 minutes ago and I forgot to mark them. All right, so let's see what happens here. It looks like we're going to go for these equal lows, and then if we get a long setup out of this, I'll take it. Or if we violate this, I'll do another 2 contracts short, which should be another 20-point move. About. Let's see. Let's see. I'm just playing whatever I see, Michael. I don't have a bias. I'll short or long. Okay, 2 minutes till the 5-minute close. Again, if we close over this, I'll try another 2 contracts short. It'll give us 20 points, maybe. You can just see right now, like I create conditions to trade around, right? I mark the highs and lows, right? We don't know what's gonna be the draw, but once this gets inverse or once we get along, right, we'll know what the draw will be after. But so far we don't have that yet. So I'm just kind of waiting for this to get violated and then I'll know the draw. It would make sense if it was these data lows, but we really need to see this violated first if we want it to be the data lows. I really want to try to. I really wanted to short there, but I don't know. I have more conviction if something's violated versus if we just retrace into something. It's weird, but Dude, it's gonna be so funny what happens at 2 o'clock or 2:20 or whatever it is. Why did I not short the 953 inverse? Because the news. Didn't really want to take a play there. Oh, yeah. See, like this was the news candle. I mean, I get what you're saying. Like shorting this. I mean, when we hit it, we already hit the internal low. See this? Right? We closed below this and we already hit the internal low here. So it just didn't make sense to me since we already hit that internal low. Still nothing. Triple equal highs up here. So wait, maybe not. I keep forgetting I'm on MNQ, but I always just check just because these triple equal highs might not be triple equal highs on NQ. Again, you always want to prioritize NQ and not MNQ. This is just what I trade on. You can see the 5-minute end up closing to the tick on the 5-minute time frame. Would I allow him this 1-minute inverse? No, probably not. I'd rather short. Let's get like an order ready. Just in case. I'm trying to get the best risk reward possible here if I can. Ideally, I want to see the 5-minute close under 2 at the same time. That'd be the most highest probability. Like, imagine if you were trying to long right now and you were seeing this shit. Like, this wouldn't look good if you were trying to long. We still got 30 seconds to the candle close. Really hope this doesn't hit this low first. No. Oh my god. Fuck me. Yeah, they're gonna hit this low first. That sucks. I'll try one contract here. And I just entered 3 because it was on 3 defaulted. So hopefully this works out. But again, I was trying to get a short right here. There's not going to give us to it. It's not going to give us the short, unfortunately. Probably go for these data lows now. I did not mean to short 3 contracts there. I meant to do 1. But that's the problem with a setup like this, right? You get this candle, you can't short after this, right? This is a horrible short now. Okay, there's really nothing you can do when we get a red candle like this because I was trying to short right there. I knew if we close right there, we're going to go at least to this low, giving us a free trade, and then likely this low, which we're probably about to hit. And when you get a candle close like that, there's not much you can do about it. So I almost tried chasing in the middle of it, but it was too late. Got a bad fill, so we'll just see how this plays out. It sucks, but it is what it is. See, this already doesn't look good because we already hit internal liquidity. So hopefully we can hold below this 5-minute inverse and then get this low. again, like I said, if you were trying to long there and you saw these candles and you saw this wasn't being respected, right? That would look bad. That's what I was trying to short, right? You always want to think of what are the opposite people trying to do right now, and does it look good or bad, right? If you were trying to long there, okay, and you saw this getting violated, wouldn't it make sense to do short? Probably, right? So you have to think about it in terms of like common sense and what the algorithm is going to want to do, right? It's probably going to want to stop out longs there. Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't hit these data lows. I think ES is still going to go down to this low. I just want to see a 15-minute close below this. I'm going to see if I can maybe get a short set up here to try to get out of break even. We'll see. Again, I did not mean to press 3 contracts there. It was already defaulted. And you can see it's a dump short after we hit internal liquidity. So there's really nothing you can do in that play, because if you take after the candle close, that candle closes below internal. It doesn't hit the data lows, but it closes after you hit internal, right? So now it's just a dumb play, right? So it's just really unlucky. And that's going to happen some days, and you just won't be able to do anything about it, and that's okay. Two minutes to the ES close here. If ES hits this low and we get a long setup, I'll probably look for a long. But if ES closes under this, then we should keep going down here. This again, this is a 5-minute inverse, but why is this not a good inverse to short? Yeah, exactly. Even though we never hit the data lows, we did hit some sort of liquidity. So when we hit this internal liquidity, right, even though we want these data lows, not a really good idea to short just because internal is hit. And that's why I tried only taking one contract. I'm probably going to have to end up averaging down to get out of break even somehow. I'm just looking for a confirmation setup here. Still 1 minute. 1 minute until this closes right here. Yeah, I'm looking for a 30-second as well. So far, this is pretty bullish. Yeah, I'll probably get out of break even some way or another. I mean, we're still technically in this 5-minute inverse, so I want to see what happens with this. Looks like this is going to close above. So this is not really that bearish yet. We do have a 5-minute here. The 5-minute did close below an ES. Okay. But when you see one time frame close under and one not close under, just a little less probability. You really want to see both time frames close under, and not both did, or both didn't. Um, Lewis, I'm gonna try to get out for break even. I'm just waiting for a setup. And this really isn't invalidated yet. This is still not bullish just yet because we're still below this inverse, so it's still technically valid. Little 1 minute BPR here, good sign to take us to this low. Also, I like how he didn't really displace over this high. Also, it's got that market maker sell curve to it as well. MMXM curve. Okay, this is where I want to see like a 1 minute stay open like this. Isn't this the leopard model right here, leopard? Leopard, look at the 30-second. This is a leopard model. If this fails, I'm suing leopard. It looks like this is going to get wrecked. So you can see this 1 minute was closed. Okay, so not really good sign since the 1 minute was closed. We have this one on ES as well. Failed, but already ran 10 points. Dude, like, what do you mean by ran 10 points? We never even got the fair value gap open. That's what I don't understand. Like, it was never remained open. It ran 10 points when you didn't know it was going to be a fair value gap. Because if you look at the 1017 candle close on the 30-second chart, when that closed, that ran 10 points, but we didn't know that was going to be a fair value gap. See, leopard, in that model, we didn't know that was going to be a fair value gap until after it ran 10 points. That's when it closes a fair value gap. See, that's what I'm not really understanding. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. No, I would not trade tomorrow. If I were you, I'll just be demo tomorrow. Again, the reason why I'm still holding this is probably because I'm gonna buy like 7 contracts at some point and I'll get out for break even pretty easily. I'm just waiting for the setup. This is the eval count, so I don't really care. And I know I'll be able to get out of break even at some point. I'm just waiting. Again, I'm still I still think we go down too. I'm just waiting for a good setup. So far, there's not really a good entry yet. Again, I don't like how there's this ES low that got left. I really just want to see a candle close below this 15-minute fair value gap. That would probably be my average down. Fed speaker in 5. Who's speaking? Bowman? Okay. You can kind of see I have this line drawn here. It's not perfect low resistance liquidity really, but I'm going to see if we get like a third touch. If we get that third touch of this line, that should confirm we go to this ES low. And again, we're still respecting that 5-minute inverse on ES, so this is still bearish. It's a very nice inverse. You can see the body almost closed above it, but it didn't. And as long as we hold this inverse, like I said, we should go to this low. So there's kind of the third touch. Good sign. Yeah, I don't think that'll affect indexes too much, Michael. Or it shouldn't, at least. Okay, you got 6 minutes of this candle close. Again, ES is still pretty bearish to the sell side. Just want to see a confirmation of this candle closing below, which is still a lot of time left. Still 6 minutes of the close, which I'll have to get off at 10:30, unfortunately. Try to stay on like 5 minutes longer, but looks good to go at this line. Okay, there's that line. Made equal lows there. Should still hit. Okay, so there's the ES low. So there's sell side and ES. We could get a long setup here in NQ now. Again, I'm just gonna hold this. I still want these data lows. Came really close, but didn't hit them, so we should. Just a little more, please. So now you can see the same situation as before. This 15-minute already hit the low. So even if this 15-minute closes under, it doesn't really matter, right? Because this 15-minute NES already hit the low. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, now you wouldn't average down or whatever because this 15-minute closed below. We already hit internal sell side, so now it wouldn't really make any sense to short now that ES has hit internal liquidity. We do still have a potential 1 hour fair value gap right here in ES. that was not retraced into, that could still get retraced into. Well, I wish I didn't have to get off in 5 minutes. I still think we're going to get a decent short. Also, we have 34 minutes till the hourly candle close as well. So if the candle does close like this, you can see this would be an hourly inverse. And typically when we do get an hourly inverse, we either deliver to sell side or the next fair value gap. And in this situation, it would probably be the next fair value gap because sell side would be down here. It's whichever one comes first. And in this case, the hourly fair value gap would come first. Leopard's probably gonna screen share for a little bit, I'd assume. Also, these are equal lows as well. Hard to see on like, you can't really see them on the 15-minute time frame, but you can see them on like the 5. And when equal lows line up with a fair value gap, usually a pretty good sign. Leopard, I'll probably go like at 10:35-ish. Then you can start screen sharing. Okay, so there's sell side on ES finally. Okay, so there's the hourly fair value gap, which I expected. Okay, see if we get these equal lows now on this data low on NQ. Hopefully do before I get off. And I'm out there. All right. All right, so there's the data lows. Now what are we looking at here? Yeah, the only reason I did that is because it's an eval account. I don't really care. I mean, I knew they're gonna hit. That's something where I've been trading long enough. I know 100% they're gonna hit. Like that's a 100% win rate play. Okay, I know that sounds silly, but I've been trading for a while and I know there's gonna hit. So there's the data lows. I'm probably Leopard. Do you want to screen share now? That was when. Again, I seriously did not mean to buy 3 contracts there. When I click sell, I always forget when you type the plus button here and you create a new order and you type in 3 and you do like a sell limit up here, whatever, it defaults that, and I forgot. Bro, Dawson, it was an eval account. I don't do that in my life. Those are data lows. I knew they were gonna hit. I was trying to get the average down play or the average down play, but there wasn't really any good ones.